So it was founded in 1999. It came pretty naturally, I guess, just out of us all going to grad school at Yale. And I showed up in the September of that year, and it was like it was a class assignment basically. It's like, let's learn this piece, or not even let's learn, you must learn this piece for the percussion group concert, Yale YPG, Yale Percussion Group. So we were learning James Wood's Village Burial with Fire, and spent a long time learning that piece, and got along really well and played together really well. And so it gradually went from kind of playing school rep kind of thing to traveling and playing a little bit outside of school until we were playing further and further outside of school. Started commissioning work, and it kind of grew from there. And since that time in 1999, we've changed the configuration a couple times, and folks have gone different places for different jobs and so forth. But that original impetus was very much a grad school homework. So percussion grew out of homework, basically.
One big long homework assignment.
Yeah, exactly. Very long homework assignment.
It is a full-time thing for us right now, and the way it became a full-time thing, I think, was also pretty organic. We, like Jason said, we were all at one time or another overlapping and playing together in school, and we're having a great time playing this music. I remember my first semester in grad school, the Yale Percussion Group went to the Cleveland Museum of Art, and we played Xenakis, and we played Reich, and we played many of the things that So plays now. We had so much fun doing it, and we got a great response. I mean, here we were, like, outside of the hermetically sealed environment of a school and a conservatory, playing this music that we cared about and that we had studied and we loved for all kinds of different people, and they were getting into it.
Having a band isn't that new of a concept, and I think for percussionists going through graduate school, I think, like, at least I had the idea of, like, well, in order to be in a band, I have to play this certain type of music and I have to do this thing. But then having my eyes opened up by my teachers to percussion groups like Black Earth and then Nexus and the Cincinnati Percussion Group, like, having those sorts of models to sort of look at and be like, okay, well, they're playing music that they love and they feel strongly about, and they're doing it for a living, I think was sort of like, okay, this is kind of weird, but we can do it. Like, if someone else is able to do it, it sort of gives you the freedom and that first hurdle to get over of, is this possible?
We've looked at many different types of musical groups along the way for inspiration, certainly percussion groups, but also some of our greatest friends and mentors are the people who do the Bang on a Can thing, which is a festival and a new music group and a commissioning project and a million different things. String quartets, were a real model for us in the beginning, at least in terms of, wow, these are people who get so deep into their music, they communicate so well with each other. Maybe that's a direction that percussion could move further in, and that was a real inspiration for us. And I think you can look way beyond just your own immediate world and your own instrument.
Yeah, I think we definitely looked just at what intrigued us and what different kind of musics we were into. And I think rarely will you find a percussionist is only into one music, because percussion, I mean, there's so many different things to draw on. The histories are so long and the styles of music so vast that I think all of us have likes and dislikes, and we like a lot of different types of music. So looking at, like Adam said, string quartets as well as bands, as well as percussion groups, as well as different world musics, and kind of figuring out what you like from each of those and how that's going to kind of inform what you do. I think our eclectic tastes have kind of informed, hopefully, our eclectic band. terms of the schedule we keep and the kind of work that we put into this, I think the best thing about it is just we really love what we're doing. So we do work really, really hard at it. A normal day, if we're in our studio here in Brooklyn, we usually rehearse from 11 to 2. That's kind of our slot. 3-hour rehearsals tend to work good for us. We've just started to actually give ourselves breaks. We never did that in the past. It's like, let's take 10. You know? That's new. But then usually, depending on how we like to divide up our day, we'll be here a little bit before that to put in some work, and after that to put in some work, or a lot after that to put in some work. One of the things about the way we've organized ourselves is that, for the most part, since 1999 until now, we've been doing all these different facets of running the business and the day-to-day, of what So does, and we've been doing that ourselves. So we all kind of divide up tasks and end up spending a lot of time, doing the nuts and bolts that keep this thing running and allow us to do what we really love to do, which at the end of the day is to play music. But yeah, in the end, I think it's really rewarding knowing that we've kind of built this thing, given ourselves an outlet for artistically and creatively, and it's become our job, so it feels very rewarding.
Yeah, I think that we've definitely found that diversity in a lot of different ways is really central to the group being successful. Not only artistically, also financially that works out for us, because we have to appeal to different kinds of support in order to stay a full-time group, and we get support from when we play a concert. We get paid some money for that, and when we commission a composer or we make a recording, a little bit of money comes in from all these different places, and that's how we were able to do this full time instead of just making it a hobby.
I spend a lot of my life emailing or being on the phone explaining to concert halls how do you explain to a concert hall, I'm going to write on a chalkboard and I'm going to have a cactus? The bewilderment on the other end of the line sometimes is pretty deep and things. So I think for us, we have a choice. We can either go do something that makes a lot more money and wouldn't be as artistically satisfying but would still be as much work, or to do all the work and then at the end of the day get to go on stage with your 4 buddies and play a cactus and play things and get to tell people about it. I think that's we are in a really luxurious position to get to do that.
I think it could be easy for somebody to look at it and say, how do I get on stage? How do I get from A to Z? I think there are a couple of things, those things Josh was just talking about. But for instance, like if we go to a community that we've never been to before and we're getting paid to play a concert, we may spend the better part of the entire week leading up to the concert in the elementary schools in the area, teaching kids about rhythm and percussion, teaching them about the music that we're going to play at the concert, trying to encourage them to bring their families to the concert, putting in time on behalf of the person that brought us to play the concert. I think that you have to be willing to get out there and kind of be a voice of advocacy for what you do, trying to get out there and say, I just believe in this so much, and I think that you will too if you give me a chance to play it for you. I think our culture is less interested in just pure talent these days. I think they're interested in in people who are interesting. I think they're interested in people who want to have something to say about what they're doing, want to advocate for what they're doing, and want to engage. I think that our culture is less interested in, well, I'm just this freaky talented person who's been playing since I was 6 months old, as like, are you saying something interesting, or are you just another person who's a really, really great player?
I am freakishly talented, and I have been playing.
But we
since
try to
6
play it
months
down.
old.
We try to play that down a little bit.
Like a savant, I am.